everybody, this is Grace. In this video, I'm going to talk about when, avoidant personality disorder, or when a person thinks that they have traits that they've not been diagnosed, and social anxiety disorder, a social phobia. They've either been diagnosed or haven't, but they think that they may have these, traits of, characteristics of, and symptoms of, but they don't know for sure. Now me, I went and looked up avoidant personality disorder. Again, I do this quite frequently, really, because the things that I study mix the two together. Social anxiety disorder and, social phobia and avoidant, and they kind of mix them together, and it can blend. And anyway, I looked it up again, and it doesn't really fit me. Avoidant doesn't fit me. Now, I was diagnosed with panic disorder many years ago, and but like 20 years ago, maybe more, I don't know. But once I got on medication, and I'm not saying this fits everybody, this was just me, so don't take it, I'm not a healthcare professional provider, but for me, once I got on medication for diabetes, it was metformin, things changed from like night and day. I used to have severe panic attacks, so much that I had actually experienced twice what people these days pronounce agoraphobia. I think it's actually, at this point, I can't even remember, but I think it's agoraphobia. I could be wrong. It's been so long. But, yeah, I experienced those twice, once when I was 28, I believe, and once when I was 33, and then I got on medication for the diabetes when I was 35. And like I said, that was 20 years ago. I'm 55 now. And it just changed so much of, how I felt panic attacks. I still have them every blue moon, maybe once a year. I do still feel some anxiety, not quite as much, and very different, very different. I actually felt like this is how people really live. This is great. This is wonderful. I don't walk around with having a panic attack at every twist and turn, or feel anxiety everywhere I go, every situation. I don't feel any reason to stay at home, and although sometimes I wonder about myself, but I like to get out. I like to be outside, instead of wanting just to be in home. And I don't usually get that feeling of the whole world is too big, like I did when I had those twice that agoraphobia. Yeah, I don't feel that. Although I can't really always like looking straight up. I still feel that. I wonder if other people do that. Like if you look straight up and you look at the the sky, and not a ceiling but a sky, and feel that the world's just too big. That's what happened to me when I had agoraphobia. It was that used to be considered fear of the marketplace. And both times when it hit me really bad was in the marketplace, a grocery store. So, yeah, boy, that kind of stream of consciousness on this video, and I'm going to do stream of consciousness the rest of this video, so be prepared. I usually do, so. But anyway, so I looked this up again, and like I said, avoidant, I don't fit it. I do fit still a little bit, not as bad with the panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, but very, very little. So I don't even think at this point I would be, I don't think I'd be diagnosed with it. That's what I'm saying. But boy, do I remember it. Do I ever remember it? And when I do have a panic attack these days, it's usually when I'm walking across a bridge. Plain simple, when I'm high up. That's when I will have a panic attack, and I'm usually not in either one of them. Driving over them, nah. But walking, yeah. So anyway, that's a little bit of my history, and what I want to talk about also is some fears that some may experience. They might not, associated with either one. I'm not sure if it would be either one, but I think it might be either one. And those fears are based on experiences they had in the past with people who were just downright abusive. People who were just downright ignorant, which is basically the same thing. It can be. But they, people who say things that are really harmful to the person they're saying them to, to their victim, to their target, and cause certain kinds of fears, because it's a repetitive thing, and it can become, something associated with complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It goes over year after year. Say you work with somebody, or say maybe it's somebody in your family who is this way, and then from your family you go to a job and you have somebody at your job who does this. It might not be towards you always, but that they have that in them to do that, to be this way. And then they cause a certain kind of fear, and that fear is a fear of being humiliated, or a fear of being laughed at, which I think, and I may be wrong, I think it's called gelatophobia. I could be pronouncing that wrong, could be saying it wrong all around. But fear of being laughed at, humiliated, put down, made to look like a fool, whatever is the case, it has happened repeatedly in your life, and you've developed a fear of that happening. Fear of maybe somebody new, that not somebody that you've known. You have a fear of it. Now that's something I want to talk more about in other videos, and upcoming maybe videos. I haven't made them yet. This is the first, but I do want to research it more. Now I was a career student, graduate. My degrees are in psychology and sociology, and I basically got burnt out while I was working on my PhD in counseling and developmental psychology, and didn't return. I had been a career student for I think it was 21 years. So and so I'm going to study this like a student. Seriously, I want to study this more. This is not an advice channel. I don't give any advice or any counseling, any of that. But just my own observations, my own feelings, my own experiences, my, opinions, my own opinions and everything. I want to talk about more about that. And in this one, I can see how people develop fears, not just of being humiliated, but other kinds of fears because of these kind of, some people these days just call them narcissistic people. It can be more than narcissist. It can not be any of the cluster B personality disordered people, or behaviors of. But just people who are ignorant, like I said earlier in this video, and you develop that kind of feeling, a fear of that. And I wanted, like I said, I want to delve deeper into it in another video. This is just kind of a intro. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I'm going to leave it right here. Like I said, I got more on this topic, but that's for other videos. So if you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click one of the rectangles. And like, subscribe, comment, and share on your own social media if you want to. And I'll talk to y'all in another video. Bye.